Hello and welcome to T Money Talks. In this week's episode, T Money is going to talk about what they've been up to last week and some things they're excited about for Christmas. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Hello, and welcome to T Money Talks. I am sitting here today recording on a Monday because last night, my usual recording T Money Talks days, I was just not feeling like myself. I don't know what has gone wrong with T Money because, as we all know, last week I was a bit sick. I had some congestion. I still have a tiny bit of congestion still today, but mostly I feel a bit weak. Well, I don't even want to say feel a bit weak. I just feel not myself because not last night, just yesterday. Well, okay, let me start from the beginning. On Saturday, I had work. I had a double show day and I was excited and ready to work a double shift because I need some money. However, though, I went through my first shift and I was on my lunch break, and I had a 2-hour lunch break because there was a gap in between shows. That's how long it was. And I was just chilling, and halfway through my lunch break, when I was about to be done, I suddenly started feeling like I was going to be sick. I have no idea why. So I went to the restroom because I was like, well, maybe I just need to use the restroom and then everything will be fine. I went to the restroom and I felt just a little bit better, but not enough for me for the nausea to completely go away. So I was like, you know what? Let's just continue on with my shift. I'm sure I'll be fine. And I tried. I went back down after my lunch was over into my boss's office and I was trying to mingle, trying to act like everything was okay. But really, in the inside, I was just dying and I just felt so sick. I was like, please, everyone, just shut up. I don't want to talk at all because if I do, I'm going to throw up. Eventually, I had to cave and let my boss know how I was feeling. And she was like, oh, well, why don't you go get some fresh air from outside? I was like, okay, cool. Let me do that. I went outside to get some air. And for a second, I was feeling better. But then suddenly, I just was not. So I started walking towards the front to get back inside the theater. And then I saw one of the security guards, one of my coworkers. And then just suddenly it hit me like a truck. I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna throw up. And then she was like, oh no, come, do you want to hold my hand? You know what? Let me just hold you. Because she was terrified that I was gonna pass out. And I did begin to get a little shaky. So I was kind of strange or scared myself. She was asking me questions, that a security guard would ask a person who seems like they're about to be sick. It was very comforting. It was very nice. And I was just like, no, I don't have any medical history of illnesses or anything like this. I don't know why this is happening. I just know I feel like I'm gonna throw up. And then so eventually she got me inside and I sat down and I drank some Sprite. And after I drank the Sprite, I was feeling much better, but then I was getting cold, so it was shaky. So then I was like, you know what? No, I should go home. So then eventually I gathered up enough strength to tell my boss, you know what? Yes, I should go home. And she's like, yeah, no problem. Go home. Let me know if you need to stay home tomorrow as well, because on Sunday I was supposed to have a shift as well. So then I get home, I eat some food, and I feel better. And here's the worst part. I felt sick on Saturday, but on Saturday is the same day that my new electric drum set came in, because about a week, not about a week, but like last week, last week or a week or two, I sold my old tabletop drum set. I sold the whole pedals, the snare, drum holder. I sold the whole thing for enough money for me to purchase a electric drum kit. And that was the whole goal with my electric drum kit in the first place was to learn it from it and eventually sell it so I could upgrade to what I have today. And so I was so excited because this entire week I was like, I ordered my drum set on Monday and I was getting it on Saturday. I was like, oh my gosh, that is so close. That is so soon. I'm so excited. I get to start drumming. And then I was like, yeah, sure, I have work on Saturday and Sunday, but I could set it up Saturday and play it Sunday after I get off of work. However, that did not fall into my stars because the universe had other plans for me. Because you see, on Saturday, like I said, I had to leave work early because I was feeling nauseous. And so after I came home and I ate, I felt good again. And so I was like, you know what? Let me assemble this drum set. I'm feeling good. Maybe I just needed to eat and that was all I needed. And setting up the drum set, I have to say, was so much harder than I thought it was going to be. And it was very frustrating at the same time because, well, I didn't feel all that well. I didn't feel nauseous anymore. So I was like, I could do this. It'll get my mind off of like how I'm feeling and I'll just feel good having gotten something done, you know? And so eventually I got the whole thing set up, not exactly to where how it should be, but set up enough to where I was like, okay, it's put together. I could start setting up the wires, plugging everything in so that I could eventually test it out, you know. However, I did not get the chance to do all that. Well, I did get to plug in the cables and everything everywhere, but I did not get to plug it into the power it on and try it out like that because unfortunately, right as I was gonna test her out with the power and everything, I suddenly felt sick again. I felt the same way I felt when I was at work and I had no idea why. And then I was like, well, I guess we're done here. And so I set the drums aside and I had to go in the shower because of how sick I was feeling. And eventually I felt well enough to come out. And once I got out of the shower that time, I was like, okay, I'm done here. I'm just gonna go to bed and hopefully I feel good tomorrow on Sunday. And I woke up not feeling that much better as I was hoping. I woke up on Sunday and my head was still hurting a bit and I still felt a tad nauseous, but not nauseous enough to where I did on Saturday. It was nauseous, but I was like, well, I think if I eat, I'll feel good. And I did eat and I felt good for a little bit, only until I didn't feel good. So the nausea just came and went Sunday. It was very strange until I eventually did throw up. Sorry, there was no trigger warning on that, but yeah, eventually I did and I felt better and I thought I was good. I thought I was like, yeah, I let it out and now it's passed and now we're moving on. But then just later on Sunday night, I just was feeling horrible again, like I was gonna have to throw up and I just couldn't shake it. And so I eventually just had to sleep because that was the only thing that I could do. That was the only way I didn't feel like throwing up. I didn't feel nauseous. And so when I woke up on Monday, I was like, okay, I feel way better. I feel 100% myself. My head hurts just a little bit, but I'm sure if I take medicine, I'll feel even better. And then so I did. And then I had some sausages and I was feeling good. You know, I was going about my day. I was like, all right, let's clean up this room. Let's put this laundry away. Let's make my room look like T Money's room again, you know? And then suddenly, I guess doing all that cleaning, or which wasn't even a lot of cleaning, I was just putting laundry away and fixing up my drum set a little bit. And after I did that, it was just, I don't know, I just suddenly felt nauseous again. My head wasn't necessarily hurting, but I just felt sick again and it was just really strange. So then once again, I had to just lay in my room and just write it out. And here I am now on this podcast feeling much better. My head doesn't hurt as bad, but I have felt a little bit nauseous still today and I don't understand why, but I have been able to eat much more today because on Saturday I had a little bit more after I ate some after once I got home from work. I ate a bit, and on Sunday I had 1 can of soup and some toast and a bunch of saltine crackers. And today on Monday, I had some sausages and some Wava Grill. I haven't eaten the entire bowl, but I have like 10% of it. Not even 10. I have like less than 5% of my bowl left to eat. So I would say I ate much better today. Yesterday on Sunday, I also had McGriddles. Yeah, I had McGriddles, a can of soup, and crackers and toast. Today, I just had sausages and Waba Grill, but I feel like the Waba Grill was a bit more filling because I had more rice and meat. I feel like I have more in my system now, and it's just strange to me that I don't feel 100% better, because I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. And so yeah, that's why I don't know I don't know where I was going with that. I guess that was just me explaining how I'm feeling. But yeah, that's how the weekend has been. And honestly, I didn't do much this week because I've kind of just been recovering from my sickness and preparing for work. Like I said, I sold and built my new drum set. I am sad because I feel like had on Saturday I just come home and really rested, I don't know if I would have just been fine on Sunday or if I still would have felt sick regardless. But I don't know if I pushed myself building that drum set, but it was absolutely worth it because this drum set looks so beautiful. It's a mesh head drum set, so it's not rubber like my tabletop drum set. The mesh heads give it more of a realistic acoustic drum set feel, and I like that because it just feels more fun to play. It feels more like a real drum set, and I feel like I'm going to have more progress learning the drums on this one than I did my tabletop drum set. Although I don't know where I'm going to place it, because currently where it sits is in front of my record player, which is also kind of in front of my closet. So in a way, it doesn't really take up space, but it kind of takes up space, you know? So I gotta find a place in my home to place that. But I also haven't really had the time to properly play my drum set, unfortunately, because I tried playing it on Sunday on the times when the waves and Nasha would gone. I would try to play the drums because I was like, no, it's here. I built it. I finally set it up to perfection. It took me so long to build because it really did. The instructions for this drum kit are horrible. It's just pictures. Nothing is labeled. If I think had everything been labeled on the package A, B, C, like all the way it was on the pictures for the instructions, putting it together would have been so much easier. But the fact that it wasn't, and it was just a guessing game for the whole time, it was a struggle and very upsetting, especially because I've never put a drum set together before in my life. I've played a real drum set, of course, at Guitar Center and one time in high school, but I've never had to assemble a drum kit myself. So because I had to put this electric drum kit by myself, assemble it by myself for the first time, I had no idea what I was doing. So eventually I did watch a YouTube video and realized that the way I had a few of the mesh heads weren't placed right. And I was like, that makes so much sense, because everything just felt so close together that I was like, something is wrong. Either I had the poles misplaced, or in the video it showed me I had the mesh heads. I didn't have them properly placed. And once I figured that out, then suddenly everything fell into place so much easier, because I was like, if the instructions were to be fair, the video I watched also wasn't that much more help either. But because I was able to see the setup and the way the man had like the clips for everything set up, I was able to see where my mistake lied in my setup, and so that was how I was able to correct my mistakes. However, though, assembling a drum kit, it's not an easy thing to do. I'd say if you have a drummer friend, have them help you put it together. Otherwise, it's going to be a hard time if you're putting it together by yourself. 10 out of 10, I do not recommend. But yeah, that was all I've done this week. That was all I had planned, was just to work and patiently wait for my drum set to come in. But yes, Christmas is around the corner. Because I'm not feeling 100%, I don't think this podcast is going to be extremely long. Also because Christmas time is here. I don't know when you're going to listen to this podcast. If you're listening to it the day it comes out, or if you're listening to it on Christmas. I don't want to keep you too long from the festivities. But yeah, I'm excited for Christmas because I know a few of the gifts that I'm getting, I'm very excited for. One of them is a Steadicam for my camera. I believe I'm getting that. And I'm just very excited to use that for music videos, for other videos, and just to improve content all around. I also know I'm getting a blues pedal for my guitar, so my pedal board will finally be complete and I will finally be able to put my pedal board fully together. And so I will be so excited to start messing around with my electric guitar and all those pedals after Christmas, because I know I have not done a piano playing Too Many Talks yet. And the reason why I haven't is because this season I want to try it with my electric guitar. I want to try doing an ambient Too Many Talks instead of doing a meditative Too Many Talks with, oh, sorry, I was freaking out. Instead of doing a piano playing meditative vibe type of Too Many Talks, I want to do a ambient vibe acoustic or probably electric guitar Too Many Talks episode, because I think that would be exciting and fun and interesting to try, especially for season 3. And also because I feel like when it comes to the piano, I can only do so much because that's not my primary instrument. But I know with the guitar, I will have more to do and more to play with, and I just think it'll be more exciting. So I'm very excited that's going to come after Christmas, because again, I won't have all of my pedals until after Christmas, and so that'll be really fun and exciting. That's something I have to look forward for the last few episodes of season 3. Something for you guys to look forward something for you guys to look forward to. I've realized a lot of the time listening to episodes as I'm editing them, I don't finish my sentences a lot of the time, and I apologize so much for not finishing my sentences. I hope when you listen to this, you understand what I'm trying to say or where the sentence was gonna end, because I've noticed sometimes I'll just be like, yeah, and then I move on to something completely different, or I'll be like, yeah, and that's why I feel like that, and so, you know what I mean, or something like that, and then I'll just continue on into like another thought. So I really apologize for that. I'm gonna try to continue my thoughts from now on, because if I don't, I feel like I'm gonna be more upset with myself, because I'm like, how can I be doing this to you guys? I'm talking to myself and I can't even finish my thoughts. So it also confuses me when I'm editing it. Anyway, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. But yeah, Christmas is around the corner. I've had a crazy time this weekend and this week. Setting up electric drum sets are not fun, but good things are coming as we end this season 3 of Too Many Talks. I am sorry there has not been many guests this season. Season 3 has been very interesting, I will say. It's been, I don't know. I had high hopes for season 3 of Too Many Talks, but I guess life happens and I've been very invested in my music, and well, I guess it's hard to juggle more than one thing, because my music is something I really want to focus on and I really want it to take off, but my podcast is also something I'm invested in, and it's clear to me that I have other people. I have you guys, I have my listeners invested in this podcast as well. And it's like, well, I don't want to not give 100% to this podcast and not give 100% to my music. So it's just hard. I'm trying to find a good balance. Hopefully season 4 of Too Many Talks, I'll have more guests on the podcast, whether it's live every week or it's pre-recorded. We will see. It's been a fun time nonetheless, but I hope you are excited for Christmas. I hope you're baking cookies for Santa. I hope hope you're wrapping gifts. I hope you're getting into that Christmas spirit, because Christmas time is here, folks. It is no longer around the corner. Christmas time is here. Christmas time is right around the corner. And I just hope you're feeling the holiday spirit, whether you celebrate it or not. I hope you feel the festivities in your soul. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys for this podcast episode today. I do apologize for it being a short one, but like I said, this T Money is just not I'm just not feeling 100% like myself. I don't necessarily want to say I'm sick. Because I felt so nauseous and I threw up yesterday, it's just, I'm recovering from that and I don't want to push my body too much. I want to make sure I get to enjoy my Christmas and not feel sick. So I hope you guys are doing okay. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you have a very happy holidays, a wonderful Christmas. I believe, yes, okay, I just got them right before I close off. I want to make sure, okay, yes, I will see you guys before the New Year. So yes, I do just want to say I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas, a happy holidays, whatever you may celebrate. I hope you're doing lovely. I love you. I hope you're having a great day. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is T Money saying live your life, because you are the only one who gets it. All right. Bye.